Spread the Net is a very straightforward program. The slogan is Spread the Net, 10 bucks buys a net, saves a life. Myself and Belinda Stronach, we traveled to Africa many years ago, and we visited communities that had absolutely nothing. They had, there was no children playing, there was no economy, there was no schools, there was no food growing, and just absolute zero, complete poverty like we can't even begin to understand. And then we were 100 miles down the road and you're in another community and there's corn growing and there's children playing and there's a school and there's an economy. And it was explained to us by Dr. Jeffrey Sachs that the difference between these two communities was the second one had access to anti-malaria bed nets. And that enabled the community to grow and prosper because, of course, malaria attacks mostly young people and children. And if the children are dying, it destroys the soul of a community. If the men are sick, they can't grow food, and it just destroys everything. So what we saw was a tangible solution to a huge problem. It was so many times you see a problem and you just can't see the solution. Well, the solution is staring us in the face. It's very old-fashioned, and it's a $10 bed net. And we're very lucky that we live in a country where we can wrap our heads around spending 10 bucks, and the fact that that saves 1, 2, 3 lives is pretty tremendous. So that's it. 10 bucks will buy an anti-malaria bed net, which will be distributed free of cost. Well, I'm always impressed with how many schools across the country take part because there's so many good causes. And they're all wonderful causes. I think this one hits home somewhat because this is a disease that's spread by mosquitoes. And you know what? It's just luck of the draw that we don't have mosquitoes that kill us. We all hate mosquitoes in Canada. They just don't kill us. Well, they just happen to have mosquitoes that will kill them. And so it's a war on mosquitoes. We get that. And it's also something that attacks the most vulnerable members of society, which are the children. And I think young people relate to that. And also, I think the fact that 10 bucks actually buys a bed net, you're essentially saving a life. Or you certainly may be saving a life. And quite often, 2 and 3 children sleep under these things. So it's 10 bucks. It's very straightforward. It's an easy one to wrap your head around, and I think that's why people step up to the plate. Students have done all sorts of things. I could go on and on, all the different ways that people have raised money. They've done dances, they've done, all sorts of different fundraisers, they've sold things, they've had, fashion shows, they've passed the hat in homeroom, they've done all sorts of different things. As long as they raise the money, I don't care. And it's legal. Please keep it legal, kids.